Hi, this is Chris Bosch, and you're listening to Animal House Radio with Aaron and Dr. Mike.
Now, continuing to talking about your animals and your dogs and your cats, let's talk about the fact that did you ever have the option growing up or in the past several years where you can go in there and to a puppy mill, or not to a puppy mill, but to a pet store or to a breeder and to purchase an animal? Or, like as you said before, these animals found you through different circumstances.
Right.
Yeah. So this is something where if you had to tell people across the world, you would, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you would kind of say, listen, try to find these animals who need homes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go to a shelter.
Yeah.
Go to a shelter. And, online every day, I get pictures of animals that are in jeopardy of being put down every single day, just like you said. Yeah. They're within days or hours, some of them, of being euthanized. And some of the euthanization processes here in Georgia, they use gas chambers.
Oh.
I mean, not with the needle in the leg. That's bad enough. I won't even go see Marley and Me. I know it's a wonderful movie.
But
I can't do it.
we had Jennifer Aniston and Owen Wilson and the director of that movie on. I will not see the movie. I lied to them and I said I did, but I will not see it because
I can't, because they euthanized the dog at the end.
Yeah, but I mean, we know Marley's okay in real life. I met Marley. It's a good dog. I met him in Toronto. But I mean, it's.
I can't watch that.
I can't watch it either. I watched the movie 8 Below and I cried I just cried. And I mean,
me too. Did you ever see a movie called Fluke?
Yes, I did. I can't.
Fluke made me. And I have friends in that movie. I'm like, oh my God. And here's another one. Michael, the movie Michael, when the dog gets hit.
Yes.
You might as well. I'm turning into frickin' toast.
This is, what? I don't know why people you have to put those things in there so there's that emotional connection, and people think back years. I remember the best classic is Turner and Hooch. Is that the movie with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
And that movie for me really summed it up. I mean, Tom Hanks in that movie, with the dog, that really sums it up.
Well, my cousin, who is my age now, which is 50-something, he says to this day that Old Yeller scarred him for life.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen Old Yeller. I will not see any of these movies that have this. And it's not because I'm afraid or because I have a stance against these, certain things that happen in these movies. No, just because I can see a movie in Hollywood and there can be death and stuff like that. It doesn't, I know it's not real and it doesn't hit home. But when I see a movie where there's an innocent little dog and he gets hurt, it hits home.
No.
It just...
No.
Yeah, and then the first thing what you do after the movie is you go to your dog and you give him the biggest hug in the world. And you go to
of course I do, and I've got 4, so I get quadruple, and a cat, so I get quintuple the time.
Oh, and that's great. There's so much love in your house.
But no, go to a shelter. Don't go to, and I'm not trying to knock anybody out of business or anything, but go to a shelter. Don't go anywhere else. Go to a shelter. Go to an animal clinic or a shelter and pick up one of those dogs that are at-risk dogs.
Of course. Now, here's some stuff I'm reading about shelters and what to look for when you go there. Before choosing your pet, speak to an adoption counselor. In the majority of these shelters, they have these counselors available for you that can help you determine what the best breed, the best type of dog for you and your family is and your circumstances. Once again, shelter advantages. Good matches between people and animal. They really look out for what you have with your animal as well. And they offer some medical advice and dog training classes and behavior counseling as well. That's what a lot of places they're doing in the States. Another advantage to going to a shelter, the fees obviously are much more or less. And we know what's going on with the economy. If you can get away from spending $1,000 on a purebred dog and getting a great dog who's going to love you the exact same, even purebred, who knows? But that's not even an issue. Vaccinated, dewormed, and everything, spayed and neutered, it's usually a common thing from a shelter. When you go to a shelter, usually the animal that you adopt always has its shots, is always spayed and neutered. So, I mean, these are advantages that you when you be proactive when you go to shelters. And
absolutely.
And you know what? I love the fact that you're so passionate about animals. And
oh my gosh.
Oh, you're like me. Your passion comes through, and you can just feel it. It's just this.
They are angels on 4 legs to me.
Yeah, no, they are. And what was that? The word that Gandhi used? His saying. He says, "You judge a people by how they judge their animal." I forget the saying, but I remember Gandhi had a really good saying, and I like Gandhi. He was good. And but he had a really good saying. You can judge a person how they judge animals, and I really do believe that in life. I
believe that too. With me, I've always had animals.
Yeah.
Ever since I was born, there's always been a pet in my house. And the last dog that I brought in that I saved 3 hours before she was going to be put down, I needed that dog like a pig needs a whistle.
Yeah.
But I took the dog. And you know what? She has brought so much love, and every now and then when she comes and cuddles with me, I absolutely know that God had a purpose for sending that animal into my life.
Yeah.
And so that's the way I look at it. Every one of my animals is a purely true gift from God.
Yeah. You know what? They make us better. And in so many ways, they make us better. Now, you were saying in Atlanta, where, because we have listeners all over the country and in Georgia right now as well, where in Georgia do you recommend people can go, maybe in your area or areas that you know of, good humane shelters that you've seen?
You know what? I don't know that there's one that I could give you over another one. I know that I live in a county called Gwinnett County, and that's northeast of the city of Atlanta. I know that there are some shelters here that people could look at that. Some of the shelters here are no-kill shelters, and some of the shelters are kill shelters.
Yeah.
So I would suggest, I don't want to suggest one over the other to knock anybody out of anything, but the one thing that I would say is, if you are serious and you have the resources and the time and the energy to invest in a pet, go to a shelter where the animals, if you're nearby, are most at risk. And take one or two. If you can take one, take one. If you can take two, take two. I know somebody recently that went and adopted two kittens, and it was a family of kittens, and she couldn't bear to separate two that were together, so she got both of them. My friend Greta here had a kitten that the mother died, and she raised that kitten from a bottle, and this kitten is thriving, and Greta's got a new daughter.
Wow.
So, there are these wonderful success stories with animals, but my philosophy in life, Aaron, is this. It is in the giving that we truly
You know what? This is why I love having you on the air when you come on the program. And you got to come on the program. We got to hook up and meet when you're in Buffalo. I'm going to make it a point to come down to Buffalo and to meet with you and to chat. And our crew right now in the back is all excited. They're like, yeah, we get to go meet with Chip. And
I would love that. Come, please come. April 4th.
April 4th, you're going to be in Buffalo. It's Coffee Talk. And for more information, tell them how to get in touch with you and your website, Chip.
If you go to chipcoffee.com, ChipCoffey.com, and scroll down to the bottom of the home page, there's a banner there with a cup of coffee, and it says Coffee Talk with Chip Coffee. All the information about the Buffalo event is right there. It's not that expensive. I've kept it low priced. It's only $50 per person to come to the event. It's going to be on April 4th, and all the info's right there, and we'd love to see as many of the animal listeners out there that are listening, animal lover listeners that are out there. Come on, and hey, you want to talk about animals? You want me to communicate with an animal? I'll do that.
Doesn't matter. We get to meet Chip Coffey, the man, the myth, the legend himself. We're excited about that. So we're going to start promoting that, Chip. Thank you so much for your time out of your busy weekend. All the best to Greta, and all the best to you and your family and everybody that you love. And God bless you, my friend.
And all the best to everybody at Animal House Radio. You guys are doing God's work.
Oh, thank you so much, Chip. Ladies and gentlemen, from A&E and from all the other great things he does, Chip Coffey, the man, the legend. He's going to talk to Adriana right now. Thank you so much for being on the air with us this week. Chip Coffey from A&E's Paranormal State and everything else. What a class act. He is just amazing. How can you follow that up? It's very easy to follow that up. Well, it's not really easy to follow Chip Coffey up. But one of our great guests that we always have on the air every week, from the city of Toronto, Toronto Animal Services, Nicola.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fantabulous. How are you?
I'm great. You're ending the day off with all these celebrities on the show today. We had Tom Brown from CTV. We've just had Chip Coffey from A&E. And now we have you. You've ruined it. No, I'm just kidding.
I like to think I'm the proverbial icing on the cake.
No, you are the icing on the cake. And as always, what we do when you're on the air is what? What do we call it? Come on.
Believe it or not.
Say it once more with a little more passion.
Believe it or not.
There you go. Believe it or not, animals will not eat another animal that has been hit by a lightning. Yeah. Believe it or not, ants do not sleep.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. At 188 decibels, the whistle of a blue whale is the loudest sound produced by an animal in the world. At birth, the panda bear is smaller than a mouse.
I knew that.
I can see that.
I knew that.
Yeah. A couple more left over here. Baby robins eat 14 feet of earthworms every day. Ugh. Yeah. And, ending it off with this one, this is like me the past 3 weeks. Baby whales grow at an average of 10 pounds per hour.
Oh!
Yeah, seriously, that's like me the whole week. Huh.
That's like me over the holidays.
Oh, goodness. You and I are baby whales.